faut bouger.
Nothing like a nice Irish jingle to get you excited for the next game at the World Masters Ultimate Club Championship. We have our first Great Grandmasters
Great
game.
Grandmasters, indeed.
This you get so confused with all these abbreviations. Great Grandmasters game. Before us, Troy, what is the minimum age for this category actually?
I believe it is 50 and above. So these whippersnappers have been out here playing for at least 30 years, I'd say, to a T. So these are some of the founders of our great game, and they're here to show us how it's done.
Also, there are some pretty young-looking 50-year-olds, I must add.
All right. Yeah, I hope their ears are burning.
Very athletic indeed. Two American teams coming from the US. We have No Country. We've already said that this is a reference to the movie No Country for Old Men. And Surly, great grandmasters out of Minnesota. I know that already.
Right. Yeah, the Surly has been fielding such great Masters teams for so long now that they can do multiple divisions. So yeah, just a powerhouse of a club out of Minneapolis.
As the teams get ready for the first poll, the conditions change yet again. We've had a pretty decent bit of weather now without much rain and even with a little bit of sun.
Yeah, it's still a little blustery, but it's definitely much drier and just more pleasant outside. But I think the downwind, upwind has held constant. It's still, if you're watching on the screen, to the right of the screen will still be downwind. To the left of the screen will be upwind. So still, the scores to the left will still be the most valuable and difficult to get.
In the meantime, there is a defense right in front of the end zone by No Country. And a quick flick for a quick break. First point and first break of the game. I think it was started off by a really nice pull by Bakia. That gave the defense a lot of time to get there on time. And a pretty quick break.
Yeah, and even though that was a break to start off with, again, that was just with the wind, so it's not as detrimental as a normal break would have been.
That's right. You kind of have to score these, right?
Right, exactly. So I think as from a wind perspective, or from a an offensive line perspective, you're more concerned with the wind than you are just about who received and who didn't.
So that was Frondeville with the assist and Bakia himself with the score. Thank you for our lovely stats keeper Etienne, who's here right next to us out of Canada, together with another 120 volunteers out of 20 countries. An impressive number of people being attracted to a fun week in Limerick. Surly getting ready to receive the pole.
It's the magnetism of Sunny Sunny Limerick.
And 1,000 welcomes.
Alex de Frondeville, who you said threw the score or caught the score?
Through the score.
Through the score. He's already a Hall of Famer, and just an absolute legend from the I believe Boston Dog days, which is like one of the greatest dynasty in the history of Club Ultimate in the United States.
Who isn't a Hall of Famer on this pitch?
I feel bad for those who aren't.
So Surly working on that sideline, but I believe
Tom.
yeah, looked a bit too early, but he might be able to get the defense right back. And he does.
Yeah, Don Tom with the drop, an anesthesiologist out of Houston, Texas, and he was able to get the D back. So that's what you like to see. Good hustle. He and my mother actually did heart surgery together in San Antonio, Texas. So they.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom met him in the operating room.
Better next to the table than on it, I suppose, if you want to keep your ultimate career going for a long time. A nice break to the center of the field. They think about David thought about the hug, but doesn't take it. Goes for the easier option. 3 players underneath. One is able to manages to collect it. They center again. Bit of a high backhand. Again with David. Who's looking for a reset. Finds it in the hands of number 0 that I don't really have on the roster for No Country. Stoppage in the game. Looks like a foul based on the hand signals of the game advisors.
Yeah, it looks like somebody just jammed up in the middle of the stack, and so the receiver called a foul.
Surly now in the middle.
You see on these long points, a little reluctance to huck, maybe a little tiredness, especially at the beginning of the game. It takes a while for your heart to get up to that performing level where you have the adrenaline flowing. So little wind right now at the beginning of this game.
That's right. Olden gets the disc back into play. I believe that's either Butler or Cesario on the sideline. Centers the disc again. They go through the break site. Looking for options. They do get it off, but the receiver can't run it down as it sails out of bounds.
Yeah, he had it looks like they're doing a lot from the front of the stack. I think that has a lot to do with the tiredness, but it had Don Tom open on the break side, but shot the inside flick a little too high, put too much outside edge on it.
So a chance for No Country to score another break in this game. The wind has calmed down, which could potentially help. Again, we see the tap into play and a cheeky scoober for the break side. They swing it all the way to the other side. They think about the big backhand. They don't take it. Here's the nice high release, read very well by Rutledge. Centered to, oh, sorry, Sullivan, that was. Bakia. Gets it again in front of the end zone. They're not worried to direct the traffic. That's the Frondeville again.
Beautiful throw.
And that's a score and another break for No Country.
That's a huge into the wind score, especially with Surly right on the doorstep. To have the other team go all the way back into the wind is pretty heartbreaking.
Very calm, patient end zone play from No Country.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last game, but the fact that they have so much confidence in waiting the full 10 seconds and realizing that within those 10 seconds they're going to find what they need. So we saw there, like the thrower look off his dump and still look towards the end zone and still be able to make a great throw.
So here we see the opener from de Frondeville.
Yeah, that's exactly the throw I was talking about. Excellent throw and excellent just confidence and wherewithal in his mental ability to be calm the entire way through the 10 seconds.
What I really like about Great Grandmaster's Ultimate is that there is no cuts in vain. There's no confusion. There's no stupid, mindless running around. Everything has its purpose, and everything is set up perfectly, and they just do that one great, strong cut, and execute that perfect throw. It's really fun to watch, and I also think it is great, actually, educational material for teams to study, because the game is not as fast-paced as a typical open game, I would say, but it still has some really good patterns that younger players or less experienced players can take away from it.
I like that. That's a good point, because I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's less help ability. So really, it seems like every action is in an island. It's like every action's an action of itself, as opposed to being clogged up by the rest of the field. So yeah, each cutter can do their thing, so you can really focus on that cutter as an individual.
So number 8, again, taps the disc into play, and they immediately start a sort of a dominator setup, but a miscommunication, or else the wind takes the disc into the hands of No Country, who will now be going slightly downwind for a potential third break of the game. Go through the break side, disc immediately called inbounds.
And right before that turn, the wind picked up significantly, so changing the makeup a little bit of the game.
A nice low grab from Linforth Hall. Looks like a lefty for the No Country team. De Frondeville getting almost every second disc here for the defensive line of No Country. Another stoppage, potentially a pick call.
See, De Frondeville does a lot of quarterbacking coaching from behind the disc. He's directing his players a lot.
And that's
very
what you have
vocal.
to do. Yeah. I'm always surprised I don't hear a bit more of like yelling during the game. I feel like it can help a lot to communicate with your teammates. A foul called will stop the game once again. And another pick. Look at that. All the hugs and smiles.
You got to think too, these players have been playing against each other for decades now, so they all know each other very well. Everybody's a friend, or a frenemy at least.
So a very close grab in the end zone, 3 players underneath, but results in a turnover. And here's a big flick. Again, multiple players underneath, but Surly come down with it. Center immediately.
Yeah, Shawnee Mack, who threw that huck, might have had it sail on him a little bit, but he had 2 players down the field, and they read it well.
And here's the upline cut. And a throw for almost an easy score, but it was a tight space to squeeze the disc into. And No Country go the other way.
Yeah,
Liu.
I think the thrower could have waited 1 more minute there instead of throwing to the back hip. But looks like they got it back anyway.
Unfortunate for Olsen. Again, I think looking downfield a bit too early before really making sure that that disc is secure in his hands. And Surly pick up, go a bit backwards. A nice defensive effort, but they're right in front of the end zone now. And again, on that last pass, the disc slips away.
Again, just a tiny bit behind, trying to squeeze those insides.
No Country, waste no time. Liu now on the disc.
Wow, great catch. Looks like he's hurt though.
I believe that's Burkhardt. With a nice effort to grab the disc low.
As you mentioned in the last game, because this was a no contact injury, he's going to have to take one. It looks like, oh, it hurt his shoulder with that extension.
48 years of age. So I wonder if we might have been wrong with the restrictions.
I think we might have been.
He started playing in 1991. He has been a defensive cutter, and his fans at home are Freddie, Wells, and Bridget. And both of them are excellent soccer players. Well, maybe they'll switch to Ultimate later on anyway. So a sub is taken, and no country still with the disc. And it seems like a stall out call, so the game will stop for the players to figure out.
At 36 there, Russ Adams called a stall on
Number 6.
Number 6, and we'll see if he's probably going to say fast count. Oh no, he's not contesting it. So the stall is upheld. Oh no, it is. It's okay, so this coming in 8.
And a huge flick goes up, expected by the Surly defender, who knocks it down.
Yeah, he and the wind knocked it down.
Both with a smile on their faces.
All right.
Lots of tapping. You can see the USAU rules really reflected in the game of both of these teams. But an errant catch gives it right back to No Country. Not too many options downfield. They go for a sneaky little pass, but was that defense or was that a knock out of the hand?
The defender on the up the line, Shawnee Mack, was predicting an up the line throw and just laid out before it happened and hit the thrower.
Linford Hall working with Johnston. Really knocking on the doorstep there. Oh, and the wind knocked the disc down even though the intended receiver was quite free. I have to say, No Country looking a little more energetic so far in this game. I don't think Surly maybe expected to get the breaks so early, and they might need to mentally really recover and stay resilient, because these are long games and there's lots of time to recover.
Sure. I
But
think
you need to keep your head in.
I think an into the wind score right now would be probably mentally energetic for them.
Just what they needed,
can
yeah.
do.
Oh, another collision downfield. We see a Surly player holding his ankle, maybe. Maybe a kick on the turn. The good thing is that with experienced players and older players, you also get lots of professional experience, such as doctors and surgeons on the field, paramedics, nurses. We've got all that covered.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like I said, Don Tom is an anesthesiologist himself, and so I'm sure there's a lot of other medical professionals, well-established medical professionals on the field. Shawnee just hurt himself there. He's a couple years out from an Achilles rupture, and so I'm worried. I hope it's nothing related to that, because he battled hard to come back from the Achilles. So
that's a difficult one. I've had a few acquaintances and friends who struggle with it, and that one really takes a long time. Nonetheless, the disc will get tapped in, even though it should have been the defender tapping it in. And here is Surly with a low grab. Olsen centers the disc.
Olsen probably seems to have the most touches for Surly so far. He seems to be their main rock. I don't know if it's he's a great thrower, but it seems like he's also very fit and very active in the backfield, able to get the resets over and over again.
And another pick will stop the play. Lefty backhand to the far side. There's a good upline cut.
What a
Nice,
catch.
nice grab. Nice stretched out jump for the save. Now a beautiful swing to the other side, and there's an open player in the end zone. But again, a wobble, and the defender is close enough. Disc centered. Goes to Linford Hall. Two handlers now working together, waiting for options downfield to open. There isn't much. And the hug goes up to no one, or else to an imaginary friend. Probably the best option at this stage. I'm liking these no country aggressive options, knowing that they are able to force turnovers out of Surly, so they might as well force one further away from their own end zone.
For sure, with this wind picking up, may as well punt it, as they say.
I don't think Enright saw the defender there. But here's another possession for no country. Nice break from Sage. Centering to Johnston.
It looks like a lot of the field is calling the disc down, but the receiver is insisting it's up. That's Linforth Halley calling it up. And at the end of the day, it's his call, I think. So
there'll be a little discussion. We have pointed out that we have game advisors for all of our games here on the stream. The players, of course, are the ones who will take the final decision, but they do have an option to ask the game advisor's perspective, or else seek advice on the rule or on or their interpretation.
And the advisor, correct me if I'm wrong, the advisor only contributes an opinion, right? Nothing they say is binding.
Exactly, that's right. So it seems like no country will keep possession. Cheeky little lefty. Now they've gone through, and this wasn't a bad one, but floats over the head of the receiver.
That was the right shot, just took off on him.
And Surly is there to collect. Now they need to reassemble before no country puts on their tight match D. Alden now with a big gainer to number 8. Good swings, but still a bit of way to go. And here it is, right outside of the end zone. There is an upline cut. Can they hit them? Yes, they can. That's number 12, Britt Attic with the score for Surly. First score of the game.
Yeah, I mistakenly called Britt Olsen earlier, but yeah, he's the driver of their offense, it seems. He's the most active and is consistently getting resets and driving up the line. He seems like a pretty unguardable player for this game.
I agree. And I think you only called him that because of me. You can't listen to me like that, Bjorn. I'm only here trying to not offend anyone, you know.
I will ignore your siren song.
So Surly finally put one on the board with quite some time into the game. We only have 3 points so far. So it seems like we're in for a tight game. Surly needed this very much. We said that they came out a bit startled by the tough and quick defense and then offense by No Country. So 22 minutes in, as you can see on the board. We even have some fans gathered in the stands, but mostly people will enjoy the warmth of their rooms, I think, in between the games, because you never know what might expect you next.
That or the pub, which is just across the street. While it might have been just their first point, it was into the wind. So if you're going to score 1 point, may as well have it into the wind. So I think Surly's very much rated in this game. It's really just one two upwinds and one downwind, so it's a very even game.
That's true. So that was a bit of wishful thinking from No Country. They saw the space there, but so did the defender. And now Surly with a chance to break, but that is a tough spot to throw the forehand curved like that into.
I feel like most of Surly's turns have been that same turn where they're squeezing it inside fast and just slightly to their receiver's back pocket. And in this weather, it's hard to catch. If they could maybe take a breath and throw a little more in front, they'd be well served.
Here's a thing of beauty. Look at that floaty forehand.
Wow.
And they read it perfectly. No Country passed the whole field by one throw only. And they really just need one good cut to bring this one in. Just shy of the end zone now. Oh, and a throwaway dump. That must hurt so bad.
That was such an incredible huck. There's very few people in the world who could make that huck.
And certainly looking to respond with a huck of their own. That's what we like to see from a D-line. Nice, aggressive, quick offense. So now we're on the other side right in front of the end zone, but another stoppage, and it's a pick. We have Todd Grace with the nice read on that long shot, and now just in front of the end zone. He's gonna go back a bit to change the angle of attack. They move backwards once more. Oh, and they get in the around, and that's a break for Surly. Number 8 with the assist. I haven't seen the person who scored.
Number 8 is not on our list, but he is definitely the driver of their offense. Yeah, he's great, confident breaks, getting very low on the backhands and keeping it nice and flat for the receivers, always putting it in front.
So Surly really staying in the game, equaling the score to 2-2. And we will wait for a downwind offensive point of No Country.
Yeah. And yeah, we just got confirmation that's Joe Cesario who threw that score, a Carleton alum, which is a powerhouse of college ultimate in the United States. So yeah, he's doing really great work out there. Confident breaks, very smooth with the disc.
A very good pull from Mark Enright, all the way to the back of the end zone. But No Country not bothered by it at all. They're getting big gains on the Surly defense. Very confident, but on that last one, just a bit too much jam on that one. Floats out of bounds.
Yeah, they trying to do the very popular these days give and go offense, but unfortunately a little too much give, not enough go.
Surly now on the sideline, and again the disc gets pushed to the ground. Second chance for No Country. All these backhands, like every throw that we've seen so far going downwind to that side has just been errant.
Yeah, they're dropping really fast over there. It's pretty hard to keep them off the ground. The velocity of the wind is gonna really push it down. So you almost want to throw everything high release.
That's right. So a little bit of discussion. I'm not seeing any hand signals, so hard to tell what actually happened, but it seems like the turnover stands. And Surly set up in what almost seems like a hex, or surely some kind of interestingly spread out offense.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I can see what you're saying. It's definitely kind of amorphous, like four people back, giving lots of people room downfield. I think maybe they're just they're not confident throwing big ones into the wind, so they're gonna try to just
Make space in the center.
Yeah, and see what kind of dominators they can do. Making sure they always have someone close.
So I think the mark got stepped upon there, but the disc will be put back into play. Surly a bit short on the option, and the defender
I think that's going to be a foul.
definitely got in the way a bit too aggressively there. He saw it right, but I think he really made a move towards the trajectory of the cutter. Yeah.
And number 12 did a good job at attack. Did a good job of making sure that the defender couldn't get to the disc without going through his body. So I think, again, attack is the most active Surly player on offense. So.
But we're still going to commend Hartwigger, and we're also going to say hi to his wife Belinda, who's surely watching, as well as his mom and sister.
Hey, guys.
In the meantime, please do join us in the comment section of our YouTube channel. We would love to interact. We will check your comments in the halftime. If you want to hit us up personally, I'm on Instagram. I don't know if the great grandmasters generation is too much into Instagram.
No, they're just all on TikTok, I think.
That's right. And I don't have that. I'm in the in-between, the weird Gen Y.
We can do some TikToks at halftime. It'll be fun.
All right. Well, anyway, if you do have Instagram, hit me up with not a floaty disc like that. Excellent effort by Surly. But I'm at Rachel KA and the number 5. Bjorn, do you have some social media?
Yeah, I have an Instagram. It's Nirajba, which is my name backwards, 50. NROJB 50. That was actually kind of a dark horse, great throw. I think the receiver gave up on it, but had he continued his cut, it would have been perfect. But it kind of looked weird coming out, and so he thought it was going to hit the ground.
Hardwiger waiting for an underpass. Just about finds Parnella. Parnella fakes off the option, and here's De Frondeville with an upline cut. He gets off the forehand down the line. They keep squeezing it down that line.
Wow.
And it almost pays off, but a Surly defender in the way, and that effort was again a bit too much, and an injury called.
Great D. The receiver seemed open, and it was the right throw, but just an incredible defensive play.
Yeah, we will. I think we will see that the defender landed on his knee there and hit it quite hard. So Surly will take a sub. And so will No Country, it seems.
Yeah, No Country going ahead and making the defensive sub as well. With a long point like this, you may as well just take off the most tired person, regardless of strategy.
That was Maddie Spillum with the D. Again, his wife Renee Spillum and sons Caleb and Elijah and other friends and family are watching. And he's back on his feet. And here's a deep shot, beautifully read in a high. Oh God, another injury.
Yeah, it's the fella who just hurt his shoulder. So you saw he went up high there, and so the same deal. He probably strained that shoulder again. He was the one who had the injury on the layout coming towards the camera.
Burkhardt, that's right. It was a great jump and an interception of the deep pass, which would have floated nicely and pretty far, I think.
Yeah, there's two receivers there, so he had to do it, and he did what was necessary, but his shoulder is bearing the brunt.
It's okay, kids. Daddy's doing great. No Country, keep the disc. Here's a nice flick to the center. A wobble on the catch, but they get it. Now knocking on the doorstep. They will try to squeeze it in, and they do. That's Verghese with the score for No Country. And that is a hold, right?
Yeah,
for No Country.
Yeah, it's just a downwind hold. So
I believe that point was almost 10 minutes again.
I mean, we're 33 minutes in and only 5 points. So yeah, they're averaging quite a bit. Two evenly matched teams who aren't given an inch.
So I think we have a pretty tight game ahead of us. I'm pretty excited despite the stoppages. I'm just glad that the injuries are nothing serious. It's better to take a sub and make sure that everything is okay. There's the replay. A great grab and a great squeeze by No Country. Again, I'm feeling a little more energy from No Country, a bit more awareness. That's what it feels like at least, but I'm sure the fans at home will find it maybe completely different because you know your loved ones and you can tell how hard they're working out there. So keep the support coming. In the meantime, we could thank some people for their support as well.
Yeah, how about the disc out here on the field? We're playing this weekend with Discraft 175 gram, the Ultra Star, the official disc of Ultimate. And yeah, where would we be without them? Can't play Frisbee without the Frisbee.
That's right. How about the jerseys?
Well, I believe that's VC from beautiful, beautiful Vancouver, Canada. And yeah, they're providing lovely fits for everybody. And if you want to look good, get VC.
A quick turn in front of the end zone gives No Country another chance, and their defensive line another chance to shine and put in a quick break. And here's a beautiful backhand. And on the last pass, an interception by Surly, last minute save.
That was a huge phantom D, because if that would have been as slow as this game is going with the rate of scoring, and up into the wind right there. Oh boy, here we go again.
Wobble by Huck. Gives it back to No Country. Bakia. Working with DeFrondeville.
DeFrondeville really just has the keys to the whole offense.
And here's a really good interception by Surly, reading the game well, and a nice leading pass into the space. Unfortunately, no other teammates in front of them, but here is Alden again. They center the disc, slow down the tempo a little bit. And that backhand's not gonna go in these conditions.
Yeah, I tried to do the little air bounce and it just got eaten up.
DeFrondeville wants to get something off, doesn't have much, and there's gonna be a call of some sort. A foul call on the mark. It was pretty tight marking there. But in fairness, the pivoting could have been a bit more pronounced as well.
Yeah, DeFrondeville's not a big pivoter. He mostly stands, points, and barks orders, and then throws hammers.
And it could have worked. It just, the end was a bit too. But honestly, a good choice. The stall count was getting high. His teammates weren't getting anywhere with their cuts, so throwing it down towards the sideline, to the break side, a good choice by DeFrondeville. And here's a floaty forehand. We've got two No Country defenders underneath, but there is another player coming into the mix, but unluckily doesn't get there on time.
The shortest guy there gets the tip.
And No Country with an entire field in front of them. Will they be intimidated or no? A couple of switches on the match D. Not a bad idea if you know how to do it. And either a touch on the disc by the defender or another drop, so to speak.
I think the defender got that. It was great under D.
Surly swinging wide. And now the backhand by Don works out. Don Tom.
Yeah, I think he learned his lesson, and unfortunately the
But
receiver's hands did not.
Yeah. But Alden doing a lot of good stuff downfield as well for Surly, I felt like.
Yeah, he's a pretty active player. He's caught a couple of their best gainers so far. Yeah.
Bakia to Johnson. Liu with a big forehand, but a bit too laserish for Bronson. But, you know, at least a better position for No Country to get the disc back quickly off of Surrey. The point, again, getting a bit long, but honestly, what we really need to take away from this championship, I think, is that games just look different, and because sometimes the conditions make the players work so hard and the points are longer, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. It's just, you know, there's different standards, and a high disc and a high backhand. Oh my God, what a grab. What a grab. Danton doing the really good job reading that disc. Look at that hug. So much love on that point.
I think it was Danton with the throw, not the catch. I think that was...
Oh, sorry, my bad, yeah. I meant Liu, sorry. Liu was there for the defense, and he was so ready to get that. He was reading that perfectly, but last second, the wind pushed it down.
That's crazy. An amazing catch, two-hand grab, have to dive through the player. Pretty impressive, pretty impressive.
And an incredibly important catch and point for Surly.
No, that's your guy, Sullivan or
Alden,
the guy we said was doing such hard work with the throw.
So clearly he knows his way around the disc as well. So we're tied at 3. We're almost at half time-wise. 100-minute games here at WFDF events.
And we're even going into the wind, which is, like I said, the most important thing to pay attention to. So still just one each for both teams. Yeah. So very, very evenly matched game right now.
I am enjoying these pulls by Mike Enright. He had a really good one, a nice backhand to the end of the end zone on the last defensive point by Surly. And now he's chosen a roller and managed to get it really far, given the wind. Oh, and a game advisor was in the way for that flick hug, but they get it off regardless. Oh my God, what a grab by Pernilla.
That's why he's a legend. That was amazing.
And that was an incredibly quick score for No Country going downwind, really wasting no time. There was a defender guarding the deep cuts, and you can see the wind coming down, pouring on the players, but still a smile on their faces, just like the native Irish, who seem to just ignore the weather completely, acting like nothing's happening.
Yeah, if you could see a bit of blue sky, then it's a nice day. And so,
that's the first time I see a guy actually smiling at a game advisor or anyone being in the way of a throw. Look at that grab by Pernilla again, and an easy forehand into the end zone for Hartwigger.
I think there was a time, maybe early 90s, when Pernilla was considered the best player in the world. So, and he's still got it, and I still commend him for being out here and still playing the game that he loves.
That's right. Did you know he co-wrote Ultimate Techniques and Tactics?
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
And that he served as a president on the UPA board from 1997 and 2 years as a president and 5 years on the UPA board from 1997 to 2000.
Well, that's cool. He's giving back to the community that he loves, which is lovely. You mentioned earlier how the conditions create a certain atmosphere. My friends who play Ultimate here in Ireland, they talk about that a lot. It's like how practices always just have this weird Irish feel because it's every part of this island is always windy. And so even on a nice day, it's always going to be a little windy. So you just play a different way when you're playing on this island.
Incredible effort by Fergie trying to get that second and third and fourth effort on the catch. But nonetheless, the disc ends up in the hands of No Country, who waste no time and are again in the last third of the field. Bakia goes backwards. Now they find somebody right in front of the end zone. That's Hartwigger. Lots of good chances to show off for the No Country D-line.
This will be a big one. The first into the win score we've had in quite a bit.
Hartwigger, I think he's almost thinking about the overhead, but no, he's not going to do it. He's going to take it nice and conservative. Little passes around the disc.
To Frondeville, who will not pivot.
And he will take the overhead for an incredible grab in the end zone. That's Burkhardt with the score.
I'm sure his shoulder is loving that.
What a smart play. What a smart play. I saw lots of open space in the break side, but also the mark by Surly was set up really well to prevent any around throws. So an overhead was just
too tempting. DeFrondeville seems like he doesn't shy away from those at all. Especially like, it seems like he very much favors his flick and overhead. Not a big backhand guy, which is probably why he doesn't pivot that much.
That is exactly what I was going to say. Once you have a good flick, you can sort of get the disc anywhere, and that, why would you pivot then?
I mean, why not? Yeah. So it seems like he, rather than throw a backhand or something, it seems like he looks primarily for the overhead, even into this wind, which is pretty impressive.
And as the teams go into timeout, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. Checking out.
He's in a great spot. He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play, but we have seen none of it. Finny, he's done it.
Welcome back after the timeout for this great Grandmasters game between Surly out of Minnesota, United States, and No Country, also out of the United States. A very tight game. The teams keep trading, but No Country still seems to have a very small, but still an upper hand in the game.
Right, they just scored into the wind, which is, of course, as I said, very, very valuable. So we'll see if Surly can answer back with their own into the wind score. The conditions go from quite blustery to quite nice. So let's see, right now it's quite nice. So see if they can take advantage of this lull in the wind and punch it in. And we just got confirmation from Shawnee Mack that his Achilles is not re-ruptured. He has a smile on his face, so that's great.
And Surly only took a few throws to get in the second half of the field, and a foul is called on the mark. And with all smiles, it will be tapped back in. Butler now with the disc. Let's hope it is. Hawk centers the disc again. Ooh, a low grab, loving it from Alden.
Yeah, Alden just I think he's the best undercutter, I think, that I've seen for Surly. He's the super active, always seems to shimmy his way into being open underneath.
Definitely.
And there he is with the score. So good for him for his hard work, pays off. And just as we hoped, Surly scored right into the wind to answer back for No Countries. So now we're back even on the into the wind scores.
So that was Ridgely with the assist, I believe. Incredible stuff from Alden. But I think he might be playing into it a little bit, making himself look older with the longish gray hair than he actually is.
Yeah, I'm sure he did that on purpose.
He might be the same age.
I'm sure he did that on purpose.
But good tactics, good tactics.
Yeah, he intentionally is balding just to put us off.
Maybe I'm going to stop using sunscreen to get the wrinkles a bit faster.
Everybody wears sunscreen, prevents skin cancer. Don't listen to her.
That's right. I am wearing some right now, and I think I might.
And we're in a tent.
I wonder how many there are on the field that are actually wearing it.
Well, they made it this far. I think they all must want sunscreen.
That's true. So Surly staying tight with No Country. They get ready for another pull. Enright, show me what you got. Yeah, baby.
That's a great pull.
That's a wonderful pull again. That's just years and years of experience. He's just showing off his full range. And Surly come out in a zone. It's a good call for a change of tempo. But No Country,
seem to work.
yeah, move pretty quickly. But you know, there still might be. There you go. The last pass that's always so difficult, which earns them the turnover.
Yeah, that's amazing to bust the zone that hard and get right on the doorstep.
Good read by Cesario. Oh, and the player is down as I look at the roster to check the names. Is that De Frandeville or something?
No, it's not De
else?
Frandeville. De Frandeville has the Flames
yeah, right.
hat.
That's number 6 that we don't have on the No Country roster, right? Billy. We get a bit of help from the sideline.
Thank you, number 72.
Bronson.
Thank you, Bronson.
Thank you for Billy Bronson. So, as No Country defense recovers, Surly looks for the reset.
Yeah, and that's Cesario again with the calmness with the disc. He's really is a rock.
Now they're getting a bit of momentum, and they will go for the big backhand. And that looks like it's curving the right way. Great read by Fenske. And Surly with a chance to break. They do get off the swing. Here's the nice break into the middle. A little bit of a jump over.
I think a little quick foul, no contest, just because of the contact.
That's right. And Rutledge looking for his option. He's a tall guy, and he's going to put it up into space, and that's a break for Surly.
Yeah, it was a great read by on the original huck from Cesario, and then Cesario ran down to follow it up, get it back, and keep the offense flowing through the big man.
Todd Grace with the score for Surly. He's the coach of Ohio University, 47 years of age. And he's a judge, fellow lawyer. Yay!
Are you a lawyer?
No. Who said that?
Well, I'm just, if I get in trouble later, I'm come for you.
I'm a better commentator than a lawyer anyway. Surely.
I object.
Surely. So an important score for Surly, staying in the game, really keeping it tight. We have 50 more minutes to go. So I believe, given how tight it has been so far, if nothing changes and the teams keep going like this, we will make it to the 100-minute line.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
So Surly looking a bit more fired up after the first break of the game for them. Second. And another pull by Enright. Did that land out in bounds? Oh my God. That's some incredible skills. Kids,
So that'll be right at the front of the cone, the front cone of the end zone.
get pulling. Get pulling so that you can catch up with Enright when you're 50.
Yeah,
Very impressive.
you can be unathletic as long as you can pull.
And Surly again set up in a zone. For me, a smart move. I was very surprised that very few of the teams resorted to zone defense or resorted only to it only as sort of a second option. It did it just for 1 point to disrupt the pace. But zone is a powerful tool if you know how to use it.
Yeah, I like the zone when the offense is going downwind more than the opposite because I really want to stop the huck. And so this forces teams to go side to side and not be able to huck. And whereas with the end of the wind, I want the offense to try to huck because I don't think they can do it.
Well, I think there was a misunderstanding with the setup a little bit because No Country immediately get a big gainer downfield with a big flick. And now a little discussion.
We see Shawnee Mack back on the field since he strained his Achilles just a bit ago. So good to see him back out there.
Burkhardt is looking for options. No Country managed to swing it. We're back with DeFrondeville in the middle. We see No Country spreading really wide, trying to open up different options. And here's a really nice forehand. That will be called down. I didn't have the best perspective, but it seems like Lahakis was really trying to make sure he gets his hands underneath. We will see if any of the other players or game advisors had some good perspective.
Yeah, let's see what the game advisor thinks. I don't think he had the best angle, unfortunately, because the game advisor was behind.
That's true, but he has a little earbud, and a little birdie can help him out from the other side of the field.
Birds. The birds are, there's tons of birds actually overhead the field right now, keeping track of like what's going on.
Little helpers. Little GA helpers. So it seems like No Country
So it is a turn.
Will not keep possession,
And now Surly's going into the wind about 20 yards out. Maybe 25.
He grabbed the disc immediately. Try to do a little give and go. Or give and throw away. Will they set up in the zone? No, they will stick with match defense just to make sure.
It looked like there wasn't time to set it up, so they just went straight into man.
DeFrondeville sneaks up behind the thrower and gets the disc on the sideline.
See if he does an overhead. Oh, he throws a backhand.
That was a lovely put, but two players underneath, unfortunately, and one of the defenders gets in the way. Surly centered the disc. We're looking for an upline options, two players attacking the same space. And here is a big flick huck.
Is he going to stay in bounds?
And
I think he might have been out of bounds.
Surely that's out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a good look. It just wouldn't drop down. So the player had to run out to catch it. That was John Tom to, who's that player?
36.
36.
Adams.
Yeah, Russ Adams. So good connection, good looking throw into an open receiver, but just couldn't make it work with this wind. And of course there's DeFrondeville with an overhead.
No Country with a scoober to the break side. And a beautiful opening hammer.
That's going to be down. Missed an open Paranella.
game stoppage. Yeah, unsure what that was. Never mind. Surly and
Oh, wow, Tom with a huge throw.
that is so big, and it was almost collected by Cesario.
Yes. Wally got D. That was still one of the biggest flicks we've seen into the wind in a while. So
I think he's working on the precision there. Like we saw, the first one was way too far, the second one was just out of bounds, and the third one finally went in.
yeah, maybe the next one will be Goldilocks.
And wobble, and a foul will be called on the throw. Not sure if it was the thrower who actually called it. But that is Valakis with the disc now. And he's gonna rip it deep. That actually wasn't bad either, but absolutely unexpected by Boucard, who couldn't get there on time.
I'm kind of glad he wasn't able to get there because I'm worried about his shoulder. I think he would have laid out if he had been a step further.
An athletic bid by Tom, but the disc out of reach, unfortunately. Split second too late. Great effort nonetheless. So no country really need to work a lot harder than in the previous points. And a big flick goes up. And just like the rest of the team says, that was super far actually. That was actually super far, Bjorn.
Yeah, these guys have senses of humor. They've worked over the decades to form a sense of humor, and it's paid off.
So if you want to throw super far, you should definitely watch out for these guys. Surly, looking for options from the sideline.
Shawnee Mack is a very accomplished player. He's very conservative with the disc, so he's not going to take a lot of shots.
Can't say that about myself, unfortunately. Cesario with a flick of his own. He's
Beautiful
got a
throw.
receiver. Receiver gets there. That's Enright. Don't pull, Enright. Don't pull. It's just the end zone. You're right there. He's going to go backwards. And here's a quick pass just shy of the end zone. Oh, Cesario underneath, but a defender as well. That's a foul call. And we see another player down. He got in the way nicely, but might have fouled Cesario in the process.
Yeah, really an ill-advised throw, but it looks like the poaching defender might have clipped the receiver. So either way, whether it was a poor decision or not, it'll probably be a foul. So we'll probably see this back with the thrower.
So an uncontested foul signaled by the game advisors, yet the disc goes back, which is, well, that's a bit weird. That's okay.
Well, I think the fact that it never made it to the receiver means it has to go back.
Oh, yeah, maybe. So Enright now with a nice swing.
Because it was more of a cutting foul than a receiving foul, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it just goes back to the throw with a 0 count.
Enright and attack working together in front of it. Oh, and there it is. One last pop in. And that's another break for Surly. Wow, good energy to come back into the game.
There's the energy we're looking for. They took the edge not only in the score, but in the end of the win scores. That's a huge deal.
So that's 6-5, and we're 60 minutes into the game, so I believe we should go into a time cap half. And it seems like that might be what's happening now as we see the teams gather off the pitch. All right. No, one more. Stay on, go off. You decide, red and blue. It's up to you. We see a whistle. Hear a whistle. I don't see the volunteer. Will that be a half? So it seems like there will be another point. It might have been that the half went during
So how's
the last
the
point.
how's the time half work? What are you saying?
Well, I think whenever they reach the time limit. Yeah, it's at 55 minutes, so maybe.
Which we're well past.
Yeah, but it might have gone during that point, and there might be a cap after the time half.
I see.
We will make sure that we figure out the format a bit better for the future games. But in the meantime, a huge hammer by No Country, really using the lack of wind as compared to the previous points. They move quickly towards the end zone. Here is de Fronderville. He'll be looking for that hammer again. He's got 2 receivers there, but they're pulling to the break side instead of making space there. Oh, and he rips off a backhand, and it works out for him. That's Linford Hall in the middle. Now we've got Hartwigger looking for a reset. Nothing there. And he's going to put a floaty one up for de Fronderville, who wasn't really expecting that the defender was going to miss it, but they do. And that's another turn for Surly.
Yet another Phantom D. With this kind of wind, those near misses on D are just as devastating as the D themselves.
So Surly go to the sideline. Straight to the middle. Basically, few deep options. Now they're spreading it wide. They get the reset off to Hawk. Nice break. And they will rip it. No, that's
be a good
perfect.
Run.
That's wonderful.
And 14's all alone on the right side. Let's see if they find him.
Sullivan puts it back, and a wide open receiver for another break for Surly. What a way to take the first half. They started off a bit slower, but this was an impressive performance. I believe that's 3 breaks in a row for Surly.
3 points in a row for sure. Yeah,
wow.
It was 5-3, and wow, so 4 points in a row total.
Yeah, and this will take us into half. Please stay tuned, grab a quick snack, use the bathroom, and please make sure to be back for the second half of this great Grandmasters game between No Country and Surly Great Grandmasters. We will leave you with some highlights and take a breather ourselves. Checking out.
Bye-bye.
Yes, Surly. All right, they won't all be that easy, Surly. Is there a restroom nearby? Yeah, the home team locker room. Home team. Follow me.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
He's in a great spot. He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play, but we have seen none of it. Finney, he's done it.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlige Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo! If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV. Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Stop Ulti TV. Dalme, eroginkime, Ultimate Vendromena.
Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Thumbs up for Ulti
Everyone,
TV.
follow Ulti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love frisbee. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på Ulti TV.
Became member
Of Ulti TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe. Ulti TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
With thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
we work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and new stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Welcome back to the second half of the first Great Grandmasters game on the stream, live from Limerick, Ireland. World Masters Ultimate Club Championship. We have 2 American teams, 2 US teams facing off in a group game. We have No Country and Surly, great grandmasters. How has the game been so far, Bjorn? What are your points?
Well, it was a pretty big swing, so it's been fairly even, but the Surly really took control late in that first half with 4 points in a row. So it went from 5-3 to 7-3, and I think, as you pointed out, it was all about the energy. So Surly started a little slow, but as their momentum built, they became the more energetic team.
I'm really hoping that we can get some sideline interviews after this game from the teams, because what would really interest me is that if mental toughness becomes something that's even more important in the Grandmasters and Great Grandmasters category rather than the regular ones, or whatever I should call them.
Yeah, the Surly, well, both sides have very, accomplished players. This Surly group has been playing together for a very long time in the Masters General Division. So I think they really do have the cohesiveness and, like you said, maybe the mental calmness that comes with playing together for so long, that, not being flustered in different scenarios.
I managed to stand close enough to Surly's huddle during the halftime, and you could really hear them making sure that they do keep the energy and the aggressiveness. They were saying that No Country had the advantage of having a tighter game earlier in the day, which Surly didn't, and that caused them to bring that good aggressive energy at the start of the game. And Surly managed to get back into the game, and they want to keep that energy up, and they said the most important thing is really to take the first option and keep working. Do not rely on any of your other teammates to do the job for you. So just do a proper decisive cut, do make a nice fake, and throw a proper pass. And Surly are doing just that. And with the commentator's curse, the last pass into the end zone gets intercepted, but it was aggressive. You can't say it wasn't.
It sure was. But I like what you said there. Whenever I'm as a top-seeded opponent, or as a top-seeded team, you never want to go against the next top-seeded team without having a test before to kind of get your competitive juices flowing. So yeah, it would make sense that No Country had a tighter game coming in. They seemed a little bit more competitive and fiery, because it really is like you can't just jump to that level right away.
Good effort there from Fergie's, trying to run down that big huck that went up from No Country. But Surly will now move the other way. Adams. Oh, and that flick didn't leave the hand of the thrower the way it was intended, I believe. And that's another chance for No Country.
Yeah, it looked like, I almost thought he was trying to throw it down the field further, and it just happened to be close to to that receiver. But
great save by Linford Hall. He's on the sideline now. We'll look to center it. They swing it wide. That's Fergie's. Through the middle, and I believe a defender got a hand on that.
Yeah, good little poach. And an immediate turnover. You really see how evenly matched these two teams are. They really understand what each other is trying to do, and so there's always a defender there predicting the next move.
So a Hail Mary pass into the end zone, and it seems like it was caught. We couldn't quite see it over the defender who bit right in front of them. But that's number 4, Jason Johnson, with the score for No Country.
Beautiful backhand, inside-out backhand, just sit in the wind perfectly. That's the exact throw you want to throw into the wind. Put it on a shelf, let the receiver go get it.
I couldn't quite see Johnson coming from that far corner of the end zone, so I thought it was just a pass into the end zone, hoping for the best. but surely de Frandeville knew what he was doing.
He at least carries himself that way.
That's what you gotta do, yeah. Fake it until you make it. So No Country with a little bit of a tougher opposition to face now that Surly had gotten that many breaks in a row. But when you think about it, it's 6-7, and Surly will go upwind, so really not a big deal.
Exactly.
And a good chance for No Country to go right back in. But we expected this to be a tight game. We said that the teams are very evenly matched. So hopefully it will stay like this.
Yeah, coming right out of half, scoring into the wind. That's all you can ask of your team. So, and making it as tight as possible.
Bakia with a floaty pull. Curves towards the near sideline. And this is Ekstedt. And a drop straight away.
De Frandeville, either a big blade or an overhead. Oh, a backhand.
But too high even for the tall frame of Bouckaert. Ekstedt with a beautiful forehand.
Throw.
Is it gonna go all the way to the end zone? No, it won't. Tom. But he's gonna just pump it off number 34, Hawk. And Surly hold upwind.
Who had that beautiful forehand?
Ekstedt. It was Ekstedt, Ricky Ekstedt, that we've been calling different names. He had an assist before in the game. We have several players with the number 0 on our roster, but this is Ricky Ekstedt, 51 years old. So he went to Ohio University. He says we should be looking for breaks and solid handling from him. He didn't put anything about nice deep shots, nice forehands.
Yeah, that was a beautiful flat throw. Kept it down, kept it flat, and allowed Don Tom to run right under it.
What I like is that Ekstedt put as his sporting hero Mark Paco Enright, the greatest puller in the history of the game, a student of the game, very spirited on the field. So how lovely is it that you have your own sporting hero on your own team?
That's great. I guess that's what happens when you've been playing the sport as long as it's been around.
Oh, he started playing the year I was born. How lovely. I won't tell you what year that is. But it's been a while.
1972?
Thank you. Sure, yeah. And of course, as we talk about it, Enright rips another great roller. It rolls out of bounds, but No Country will have to start stuck on this near sideline.
They can also take it to the brick if they want, but they're electing to take it from the sideline. I probably would have taken it to the brick just because I feel a little sometimes trapped in by the sideline, but these guys are legends and they're all comfortable wherever they are on the field.
Perinilla hiding behind the first cup gets a big gainer for No Country. Velakis working in the back with Goff and Linford Hall. There's always a player open when Surly goes for the zone look. But you have to find them, and they have to be in a space where you can actually hit them. It seems like Surly is now slowly transitioning, or else switching to a Poachy D. And here's a big gainer, a nice up the line forehand. Johnson gets it. Fakes the over the shoulder throw. Goff with an overhead. And a wide open receiver at the end zone. Nobody saw Verghese sneaking behind their backs. And that's an important offensive hold for No Country. We're tied at...
Into the wind. That was a beautiful hammer. I think it can't be overstated to the audience back at home how difficult that throw is right now.
Absolutely. Shout out to Fergises, Simon Fergises' friends. Simon on the older side of this No Country team at 57 years of age. He is from Mountain View, and he's a right-handed engineer, and we should be looking for him catching goals, which is exactly what we're doing. School experience from UC Berkeley, club experience from Dog Masters, I hope I'm saying that right, and fans at home, Teresa, Isabel, Robert, and Michelle. And his sporting hero is also playing with him on the team, and it's Jim Peranilla.
Well, there you go.
But honestly,
the legend.
Verghese says he writes well.
Wait, he writes well or Peranilla writes
well? Peranilla
writes
well.
Oh, okay.
But surely there's other qualities about him that we are witnessing on the field right now.
Great tan as well.
De Frandeville will pull this time for No Country. Almost no wind right now compared to the rest of the games that we've seen. Ekstad. No Country sticking with match. Hawk finally finds his teammate on the sideline, and a disc is knocked away by Bronson.
That was Shawnee Mack with the attempted flick huck that just fell a little bit short, maybe a little too greedy.
Bronson gets it off to Sage. Sage finds Liu. Goes back to Hardwiger. Hardwiger waiting for options to open up, but it will be a dump. And a thrown away swing.
And a nice throw to Don Tom.
An athletic play trying to jump over the defender who got the hand on it first. Ekstad saw Tom completely open, but the throw was just a little too slow, I would say. De Frandeville with the big gainer to Liu. Bakia goes for a huge flick to Bronson. Can Bronson read it? Yes, he can! And that's a break for No Country.
Wow. So we're all tied up.
We're tied at 8. Wow. What a game. What a game, Bjorn.
Yeah, now it's just gonna, offense going downwind, all tied up. So essentially it's 0-0.
We're in for a treat, and so is everybody else at home. We have about 15 minutes left to this game, and anything can happen. Anything.
Yep. It could even become sunny.
Oh my God. Don't say that out loud.
We are in sunny, sunny Limerick, so.
Some tiny little surly fans on the sideline. He's wearing a number 17. Who's that? Dan Rydell. Dan Rydell said nothing about his son being on the sideline.
Hey, you know.
So what we're going to do is we're going to call him the grandson. Oh, that's what happmes when you don't.
Great-grandson.
Great-grandson, actually, yes.
You know, with weather like this, it's important to have a great bag to deal with inclement weather when you're on the sideline.
You know what's even better? To have an even greater bag on the sideline.
What about having the greatest bag?
Oh my God, aren't we so funny?
Yeah, I think having the greatest bag would be the best thing for great tournaments like this. So yeah, the greatest bag is the #1 bag designed by and for Ultimate players. So get yourself a greatest bag and don't even worry whatever Ireland has to throw at you.
That's right. Surly move for an offensive point that they haven't had in a while, really. They get a nice gainer to a Fergie.
And yeah, oh my goodness. I was going to say they look very strong, very confident moving with the wind, and then an unforced error.
And a huge backhand by de Frondeville.
No way.
It's hanging, it's hanging,
No
it's
way.
hanging. They're gonna get there. Wow, what a chase down.
That receiver did not believe that was going to hang. I don't think anyone in the world thought that was going to hang. And then
And he's
wind
gonna
gave
go
it
for
new
a
life.
timeout. He's gonna go for a timeout. What an expert move.
To Frondeville looking like some sort of weird magician over there. Pulling a magic trick and making that disc stay in the air way longer than it deserved to be.
And what I'm actually going to do in this timeout, while we might leave you with some replays and maybe a commercial break, I'm going to go and run down and find out what the name of number 6 is on the No Country roster. Checking out.
Wait, it's maroon. It's not bishop. It's maroon. Maroon.
So we're back after the timeout. Fans enjoying the sunshine in the stands right next to this main pitch at University of Limerick. We've just witnessed a huge rundown by Billy Maroon of No Country, who collected the backhand huck from de Frondeville with such grace, and now he's just shy of the end zone. Goes back to back de Frondeville. And a stoppage due to a pick before play resumes.
You see de Frondeville directing traffic as usual, and an unforced error.
Signature flick turned into a signature flop.
Yeah, it's a shame to waste that possession after one of the greatest throws we'll probably see this weekend being run down.
But honestly, I think you can't be bothered too much about turnovers in these conditions, because that's just gonna take away your focus. Just really focus on getting the disc where it needs to be, and that is the end zone. And if you need to have a couple of turnovers on the way, so be it.
So you're kind of advocating for like more of the like field position game.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, so it's like
I'm a big fan of field positioning.
So over the course of the game, it's like if you're focused on the field position, that ends up winning. Yeah, I respect that for sure in these conditions.
Honestly, it does make up a little bit for the lack of the disc skills with some teams, among some teams. But with these deep rosters, you really don't have to worry about that much, because everyone on this field is able to throw in strong wind, just like there's no wind. So we see Enright going for the up line. He does get there. We know he has a lot of disc skills. We've seen his pulls. Surly, keep moving. It's Enright again. Thinks about the forehand, doesn't take it. The receiver's way too far.
I like the way Enright has how he holds the disc. He holds the disc like a more modern elite player.
I was just about to say, is it just me that feels like some of these throwing techniques look a bit different than what we're used to?
100%. I think de Frondeville is like the classic, as good as a thrower as he is, he doesn't, no modern throwers hold the disc like he does.
And he shows that skill again by putting up a huge, big backhand. This again from Maroon.
Billy Maroon.
And wow, oh my God, I can't believe that it's a drop. Easton was right underneath that, and he was focusing so hard on getting that disc. But in fairness, there might have also been some sun in his eyes. Well, he got it, but it just jumped out of his hand.
Classic Sunny Sunny Limerick.
You have to expect everything. And we were also asked to talk about number 99 on the Surrey team, who unfortunately lost his jerseys due to on the flight here, and has to wear a 2 sizes smaller one. That's number 99.
Yeah, I think he's the largest man on Surly, and he has the smallest shirt.
He's sporting the tight fit.
Yeah, he looks fantastic. I think it's European, really. It's a European cut.
It's a European cut. Maybe he's going to set a new trend in the Great Grandmasters category. You never know.
Yeah. Well, he definitely looks faster.
He does. So Surly, in the meantime, go the other way. Oh, a nice stoppage of the huck. That was wonderful marking by Céad. He really prevented that forehand huck, forcing the thrower to throw a backhand instead, which was far from perfect, unfortunately. And No Country, again, working hard upwind. Here's a lefty forehand for Bakia. And this was a good put, but maybe for somebody else cutting from the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I think just the same wind that kept that de Frondeville backhand up, pushed that one over. So, live by the sword, die by the sword. It's tough wind out here.
Furrygate goes backwards, and that's a laser flick. A very athletic bid, but the disc was down. But wow, that was a pretty sexy layout there. Velakis.
Good spirit to call it down on yourself. It's tough when you try your best.
No Country getting dangerously close, but we know how tough the final passes into the end zone have been. That's Linford Hall. Oh, his cat is watching from home. That's what he put as his fans. Somebody turn up that volume for her.
It's pretty cool that this cat knows how to use a computer.
Exactly. These American cats. A little hand on the shoulder. A little discussion. Oh my God, I'm loving these little chit-chats. Touchy-feely. So,
not sure exactly what's happening.
It almost seems like a timeout to me. Yes.
Yeah, it must be.
The teams are getting in the huddles. So as they try to figure out how to proceed in this important moment of the game, we're going to take a little commercial break. Check it out.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Can Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Harslinger Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Love.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos posting.
Welcome back to the coverage of the Great Grandmasters game. No Country, just shy of the end zone. They do reel it in for a break against Surly, going up 9-8 with only 3 minutes or less than 3 minutes left in this game. No Country regains the lead one more time. What a game, what a tight game, Bjorn.
Yeah, it's very tight. The after Surly's huge 4-0 run to take half, No Country has been the better team this second half. Couple, like you said, the field position game, they're winning that by really being aggressive going into the win and making sure the disc is always where they want it to be. And there with the end of the win point, with cap nearly closing in, only 2 minutes away, they're really in the driver's seat right now.
That's true. In fairness, we've seen everything in this game. We've seen absolutely killer pulls by Mark Enright on the Surly side. We've seen some incredible expert throws by de Frondeville on the No Country side. Very experienced moves downfield by Alden for Surly. Great athleticism and bids and all. There's been just everything really. Very much enjoying this game. I think it's the tightest that we've had so far on the stream. And at 9-8, Surly with the hard task to score one upwind.
Yeah, we'll see how calm they can stay out here. It should be an experienced line, obviously, as all these lines are. But if I had to guess, I would like to see attack getting it under, maybe to Don Tom going away. But I think attack number 12 and Don Tom are going to be the primary receivers here, because they're the most active, they're the hardest to guard.
Rydell will bring the disc to the brick mark. I think there's a bit of confusion about where the disc should be brought into play. We see our game advisors stepping in to ensure that the players got the rules right, in a sense that the players are able to ask for clarifications regarding the rules. And Rydell goes straight to the sideline, but gets it back for the dump. And a nice forehand read expertly by Hartwigger, who immediately goes the other way. But Maroon, the hero of...
Foul on the, I believe, the throw.
I see. Not sure if that affected the following passes.
No, it looks like there was actually a foul between cutters and defenders, so unrelated to throw. So it looks like the turnover is still going to stand, but the Shawnee Mack was called for a foul. But I think, all right, it's going back. So, yeah.
So Johnson will bring the disc into play on the sideline. Goes for a big flick to Sage. Seen some good marking out of him earlier in this game. He'll take the flick to Leo. A lefty force for the No Country team. But a drop by Sage. We hear the sideline for Surly, making sure that the teammates are not rushing anything and just playing calmly, focusing on every pass. They're slicing through the defense, and here is the front cone score for Surly, staying in the game. We're tied at 9. The time is out, and I believe we're going into cap.
I don't want to toot my own horn and might have taken a couple tries, but that was attack to Don Tom.
So, yep. You were right. Surly really moved quickly on the last couple of passes, and we're getting some confusing signals from our colleague, Jacqueline. Game point, game point.
All right, yeah, we got universe point here. So, so No Country is going to be receiving it going into the wind for the game.
They have done it multiple times. They've scored multiple times into the wind. They do have the skill to do it, but can they under the pressure, or will they crumble?
I don't know. You're going to do your best to keep applying pressure from the booth here. So
I am. And you know what? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to stand up to have a better view of the field. The tightest game on our hands. Surly out of Minnesota, facing No Country, starting on offense in this last point. Universe point of this great Grandmasters game. Sidelines excited. Fans are excited. Commentators are excited. We're all hyped. Let's go. Pull goes up. And it's a thing of beauty.
you really like pulls, huh?
I do like pulls. I really appreciate smart and cool pulls. I hope it was N right. It sure was. I can see him for the defensive line of Surly. They decide to go with match defense.
We got the founder of Double Edge, Shawnee Mack, on the mark.
Oh, and a throwaway on the first pass. What a hype for Surly. Can they get there quickly? They pick up immediately. Not too many options. No Country need to stay really tight. And right now, with a break to the middle. And that's a score for Surly. Surly take the game in an incredible fashion. 2 passes. And we see No Country going to the ground, being very, very disappointed with the ending. They've had the upper hand for, I would almost say, most part of the game. And what a disappointing ending, and what an excellent way for Surly to bring this home. Wow.
Yeah, I think you're right. 70% of the game was No Country, except for that 4-point swing right at the end of the first half, and then right at the end here for Surly. So just an amazingly well-fought game by both sides. I look forward to seeing these guys later in the tournament against each other.
100%. Thank you, great Grandmasters, for finally bringing a tight game to the viewers at home. Please do join us for other games that are coming up today on the stream. We will have more throughout the week, all free for you to watch on the WFDF YouTube channel. Do interact with us in the comments. Hit us up with feedback, with little messages to the players if you're watching from home. We are very glad that you joined us for this exciting matchup. We'll be looking to bring you more. I was Rachel Doshnerova, and I was here with
Bjorn Shea.
We're checking out, and see you on the other side.
Bye-bye.
Alti.tv.
There you go. How was that for excitement for you guys? Hey, Shirley, let's see what we're gonna do. Was that exciting? Oh, you know what? Yeah. My calculator ran out of batteries. Oh, yeah. Hey, Red, Shirley, bring it in.